Hello everyone, it is Chanel. I just finished my first day of school and I'm going to recap from my house because all of the footage that I had saved somehow got corrupted, and so I'm just going to recap my day and how I felt and some of the highs and lows that happened from my house. I'll start off by saying that I was extremely worried going into the school year. I was worried about my classes, about my students, about my planning time, my lunch, about my classroom that is still under construction, that it is still being currently renovated, the lack of things in my classroom, the extra random storage boxes in my classroom, going into a whole new year, being there 5 days a week, because last year as a first year teacher, I was on a hybrid schedule. So I don't know, I was just worried about a whole lot of things, but going into the first day, I felt much more relieved. I felt much more at peace, and I felt much more confident to start the school year. So that was really, really good. Sometimes you just need to just jump right into it to just kind of get your mind at ease and into the process of teaching, because summer is summer and then getting your mind back into the teaching routine is rough. One of the highlights though of my whole entire day was seeing the students who I had in previous courses just come back to the classroom and be excited, be enthusiastic about coming into my classroom. Like, you could see them smiling underneath their masks. They were just overjoyed, they were happy, they were participating actively, and it was fun. We were laughing, and that is like, it was like a perfect classroom and a perfect environment, and that is just one of the classroom environments in which I really, really thrive. And I think that a lot of other educators can relate with me on that one. However, for some of my students that were new to my course, they were kind of chatty, and chatty can be good. I think that I can thrive on building off of chatty, but the chatty that they had was distracting in a way. It caused me to stop class and have to go over like the discipline stuff. And I hate doing the discipline stuff on the first day of school. It is not the way I like to set the tone. I like to set the tone on a positive note, on a high note, on a cheerful note, and doing the discipline stuff and being the mean teacher, it's not what I want to do, but sadly I had to do it and just establish those routines, establish those discipline procedures. And one of the problems I had this year that I didn't have last year was students not keeping their mask over their nose and their mouth. And I do teach high school, and having to remind students multiple times throughout the period kind of was, I don't know, I just felt like I shouldn't have had to do it. Another thing I want to talk about is my schedule, because my schedule at a glance kind of looks trash. Like, it looks trash. I have my study hall first period, I have my planning last period, and I have my lunch somewhat in between, but closer to the end of the day. So that means I have all of my classes jam-packed into the middle of the day, and I don't really have a break. I kind of like it. I thought I wasn't gonna like it, but I kind of like it because I get to start my day easy and slow with the study hall. I get to end my day with the planning period, and it's kind of a nice way to get me into the teacher mindset of having a study hall first period and having the planning period all the way at the end of the day. And having the planning period at the end of the day is a plus because I can set up everything I need to do for the beginning of the day at the end of the day before I leave. And it allows me to not have to stay late, because I do not want to stay late. I do not believe in staying late. Even as a first year teacher, I was out as soon as I could for my contract hours. And I'm not trying to stay late, but I will be honest in saying that during hybrid, I felt like I had a lot more time to plan. I felt that, I don't know, I just felt like I had much more time to plan and that I could take my time with things. But now going to school on a full normal schedule, it feels like I don't have as much time as I used to, and I feel like this is the year where I'm gonna feel like a first year teacher. I feel that I'm gonna get that stress and like that overwhelming burden to have to stay late to do all of these things, and I don't wanna feel that. So I'm trying to keep my head as positive as I possibly can. And I know that's going to be one of the things that gets me this year, and I just know that. But one of the things that happened that I really wasn't expecting to happen was that I had 3 students be virtual students. I only Google Meeted I only streamed in one student today just because I wasn't aware of the other two until after the period had ended. But it also wasn't a way that I wanted to start off the school year. And it's just a reality of how the school year is going to be again. Some students are going to be out for COVID reasons, or because they're symptomatic, or just being precautious. And it's the reality of the situation, and I don't want to get stressed with that. But the way I stream students into the classroom is that I just set up a Chromebook with them. I don't put them on the smart board. Normally, I don't put them on the smart board because I don't do a lot of smart board, PowerPoint, Google Slide type things. So I just set them up on a Chromebook, and even when we were doing the interactive interpersonal activities with students talking with one another, I basically told the class, I was like, don't forget about X student, don't forget about X student, and reminding them to go over to the Chromebook and interact with that student. So that's one thing that helped me, but with that class specifically, it was a class that I had last year, so they're used to that routine. I'm not sure how my 9th graders who are new to me will do that, and how open they will be to do that, just because they are new. So that's another thing that I'm hoping to work on as well. Let me just give you a rundown about how my school day goes. First period starts at 7:40, but teachers have to be there at 7:30. The last period of the day ends at 2:30, and teachers can leave at 2:50. It is a 9-period day. I'm not used to a 9-period day. All of the schools I've ever worked in or volunteered in or student taught at or attended were an 8-period day. So I'm not sure how I'm going to interact and handle the 9-period day, but I'm just going to do my best with this one. Even last year, we ran a 5-period day, but it was 5 hours. It was a period per hour with no breaks in between. That was rough. I hope I never have to do that again. But with this 9-period day, I'm curious to see how I will feel and how I will be able to handle everything. So there's that. I also teach levels 2, 3, 4, and 5 with Spanish. I have 3 sections of level 2, 1 section of level 3, 1 section of level 4, and 1 section of level 5. I love being the only high school Spanish teacher for the one reason that I get to have all of my students throughout their whole entire high school career, but it is a downside because it is an immense amount of planning and prepping. My Spanish 5 course is completely new this year. It is something that I suggested to the school to create, and they created it. So that's fantastic, and I'm really happy that I have a school that supports me in that way. But then again, it's like I added another prep to myself, and I'm like, why would I want to do that? So on the first day of school, I like to establish the fact that I'm a teacher and I'm trying to support you and do everything I can to support you. And please let me know if something's confusing, or you're not understanding something, or if I'm going too fast, or you want me to repeat something. And I just really try to emphasize that I am here for them. The classes that I had before really got that, and we were able to just jump right into this activity, which was, what did you do over the summer? Find someone who did blank, write their name down, and you can't use the same person more than twice. The next activity we did when we were done with that was that I gave directions in Spanish to draw different body parts, and then they would have to pass that paper along to other people in their group, and they were just creating this class or this group person monster thing, and they really enjoyed it. It's like kiddie and it's fun, and they enjoyed it. But for the students who I hadn't had before, we basically just practiced basic vocabulary. And one of the comments that I heard in the class was, why are we learning on the first day? And I really like to just establish how Spanish class goes on the first day. And I do think that the first day is a great time to show students how your class is and how it runs and how it works and how it operates. I don't know, the first day, it's always like I want to feel like a teacher, but the first day is just always weird. I know it's weird for students, I know it's weird for teachers, and we're going back into a normal school year. And I know that's not easy on them, and I am really trying to be mindful of that as well. Overall, I think my first day went as okay as it could have been. I'm so sorry again that I didn't have any footage to show you from the school because it got corrupted, and I'm going to try to do better at actually making sure that my footage saves in school and vlogging. I'm still I don't know, like I don't feel entirely comfortable yet vlogging or like recording myself in school, and I hope that's something that I can work on because there's no shame in like recording something you do or taking a photo of something you do, and that's just something I hope that I can become more comfortable with this year because I really do want to document my school year. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like it and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more footage like this for the remainder of the year.